get your popcorn ready as we talk about ball. Angry Cowboys Fan Podcast, and it's on. Get your popcorn ready as we talk about ball. Angry Cowboys Fan Podcast, and it's on. And it's on. And it's on.
What's going on, Cowboys Nation and Angry Cowboys fans around the world? Y'all know who it is. It's your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan. And you're listening to the Angry Cowboys Fan Podcast, the place to find my raw and uncut in podcast form. All right, Cowboys Nation. The Dallas Cowboys continue to add to those 91 men that'll be headed into training camp to prove their worth, to prove that they should be on the 53-man roster. As of today, there are about 4 players who will not be afforded that chance. The Dallas Cowboys has decided to cut 4 players from the team. Those 4 players consist of running back mainstay Malik Davis. The other 3 were Eric Bostic at right tackle, Brock Mogerson at linebacker, and guard Jack Anderson. Obviously, these guys were depth pieces for the Dallas Cowboys, more like practice squad players, or they may not even make the roster to begin with. But at the end of the day, the Dallas Cowboys have to make room for the rookies that were drafted during this year's draft, as well as the undrafted free agents that were acquired by Dallas. Those undrafted free agents consist of Josh Kelly, 6'1" wide receiver out of Texas Tech. In 2024, Josh Kelly racked up 89 receptions for 1,023 yards receiving. He was a deep threat for Texas Tech, Cowboys Nation. His ability to take the top off of the defense is super encouraging, seeing that the Dallas Cowboys let go of Brandon Cooks and everything. His NFL comp, though, that's the thing that rubs me the wrong way, Cowboys Nation. His NFL comp is Jaylen Brooks. It doesn't set well with me, Cowboys Nation, but we'll see what he has to offer during the training camp. The next one is Trayshawn Holden, 6'3" wide receiver out of Oregon. Holden, he's not a flashy wide receiver, but he has a great ability to find that soft spot in the zone of the defense to help the quarterback exploit it. He's not a burner. He's not the one to super take the top off the defense, but he is a route runner that allows to gain separation from the defensive backs that are guarding him. He has the ability to go up and get those contested catches, and he could make a nice wide receiver 4 for the Dallas Cowboys. He has the frame to be considered a red zone threat and has experience in multiple offensive systems like Alabama as well as Oregon. He also has a high football IQ and a high adaptability to quickly learn the team's system and schemes. His frame, it allows him to be a willing blocker in the run game. More evidence of Brian Schottenheimer's thumbprint on this offense. More evidence of the physicality, Cowboys Nation. The next one we're going to talk about, Tyler Neville, tight end out of Virginia. I'm going to keep it a buck, Cowboys Nation. I couldn't find too much film on Tyler Neville, but what I did find, I was impressed. I really like this pick. Tyler Neville is a 6'4", 248-pound tight end and could be a bad man in the seams. He's light on his feet and he has the ability to make that defender miss. He does have that typical tight end speed, but he can also get up there and high point the ball. I think he would make a nice addition behind Jake Ferguson, Luke Schoonmaker, and Brevin Spanford. But I'm not going to break down every undrafted free agent that the Dallas Cowboys had, but the rest of them, you got Justin Barron, the safety out of Syracuse. You got Zion Childress, safety out of Kentucky. You got Rivaldo Fairweather, tight end out of Auburn. You got Elijah Clark, safety out of Syracuse, Bruce Harmon, cornerback out of Stephen F. Austin, and Mike Smith Jr., safety out of Eastern Kentucky. But as we all know, Cowboys Nation, some of these guys might not even make the team. This just gives the Dallas Cowboys more of a talent pool to choose from. I mean, I'd like to see Trayshawn Holden, the wide receiver out of Oregon, make the team and potentially have a position battle with Jaylen Brooks. But, Cowboys Nation, there are going to be dope position battles at the guard position during training camp. There'll be an interesting position battle with the running backs, as well as seeing who can step up to be that wide receiver 2 that we really need, Cowboys Nation. As of right now, I understand our wide receiver 2 to be Jaylen Tolbert. There is an expectation for Jaylen Tolbert to make that 3-year jump in his performance and his production this year, Cowboys Nation. From the fans as well as the talking heads, Jaylen Tolbert is going to have to look to be a bona fide wide receiver 2 this season. It's up to him to take this opportunity and capitalize on it, Cowboys Nation. This is his chance to show everybody who was asking for the Dallas Cowboys to draft a wide receiver 2 just to back off real quick. That he has what it takes to help take the pressure off of CeeDee Lamb. That he has what it takes to be the legitimate target when the run game isn't working. That he can be the Robin to CeeDee Lamb's Batman. But some feel as if that they have reached the top with Jaylen Tolbert, that he has reached his ceiling when it comes to his talent. In his second year, it's nothing to write home about. I mean, nothing jumped off of the page. Yes, he led the Dallas Cowboys in touchdown catches last year, but that's not really saying nothing, Cowboys Nation. This is the year that's going to tell us everything that we need to know when it comes to Jaylen Tolbert in the wide receiver 2 position. He's had time to develop, Cowboys Nation. Now is the time for him to pop out and show. So, Cowboys Nation, if I may, if you will give me permission, the Dallas Cowboys pride themselves on being a draft and develop type of organization, right? Everybody knows that the moniker is, we like our guys. The Dallas Cowboys draft a player and they're supposed to work with said player to get them to a point where they can take the training wheels off and they can allow him to be a major impact for the team. The fans? Well, we kind of skip steps, Cowboys Nation. We like to look ahead. We can also be hypercritical of a player and not assist in their development. We actually, inadvertently, do those developing players more harm than good. Let's take Tyler Guyton, for instance. The Dallas Cowboys drafted Tyler Guyton with the first pick of the 2024 NFL Draft. I and a number of Dallas Cowboys fans, we were pissed off at the pick. We were pissed off at the fact that they would pick a project player with their first pick of the draft. But with that pick came a pick of Cooper Beebe, so I can excuse it a little bit, to a little degree. But we drafted him high, meaning that this young man needed to be coached up and helped when it came to the learning curve from switching from right tackle to left tackle. We knew that he had penalty issues and he needed to work on his footwork. He needed to gain more tools for his tool bag and he needed guidance in doing so. Long story short, Tyler Guyton needed to develop. Something that fans and the organization take for granted. But needless to say, there have been a number of fans who would look to replace Tyler Guyton at the left tackle position. After a rocky first year, fans were ready to throw in the towel and consider that man a washed draft pick without even affording him the opportunity to develop. Even though the organization swears by draft and develop, they threw this young man to the wolves in week 1 against Myles Garrett, of all people, expecting him to hold his own like Tyron Smith would. He did pretty good, but it's not supposed to work that way, Cowboys Nation. That's the exception and not the rule. Having to throw Tyler Guyton to the wolves was a direct result of Jerry and Stephen Jones allowing Tyron Smith to walk out the front door the year before. Now, just imagine if they had drafted Tyler Guyton and had him learn under Tyron Smith for a year. I believe that would have been a much better output for Guyton and a much better outcome for that left tackle position. Guyton would have been able to start his development behind a future Hall of Famer, and he could have stepped into that role this year instead of being plunged into it last year. But then he gets on social media and Tyler Guyton has to see posts from fans wanting to trade him after the first year, calling him a wash of a first-round draft pick, a bust. Declaring these things after the first year of somebody's NFL career where he certainly struggled, man, that's crazy work, Cowboys Nation. But how does that help him? How does that help out Tyler Guyton? And I mean, we called Mozzie Smith a bust too. How does that help him out? But you see, these are the players that the Dallas Cowboys are going to work with the entirety of their rookie deal to see if they got what it takes to stick it out, to see if they can get a return on their investment. That's going to take a little bit more time to happen, Cowboys Nation. Every player's not going to be that type to be able to hit the ground running, but that's exactly what's expected from the Dallas Cowboys organization and fans, especially if you're a first-round pick. It speaks to the handling of the team, the constant underbidding and friendly deals offered by the organization. not getting crucial deals done until the last minute, not seriously taking advantage of free agency or the draft or trading. All these things lead to what happened in the draft, us being BPA for specific need. But the ineffectiveness of the front office has put this team in a situation to where it's drafting to fill starting positions, not any depth pieces. They're looking to fill starters. We didn't go this past draft looking for BPA truly. The Dallas Cowboys drafted best player on the board at a particular need. And I believe it's because of Zach Martin's retirement, where they had a huge need at that right guard position. They decided to dedicate the first round to that position. Tyron Smith left a year before, and Tyler Guyton was the result. They dedicated their first round pick to that position. Tyler Biadasz left, and they dedicated a third round to that position and expect both of them to start. And real talk, Cowboys Nation, the position battles, that's a part of the development process. Being able to have a great starter but draft a dog so he can learn from that great starter is how you want your team to function. If you have to draft in hopes that a player is going to automatically start, you've made a few mistakes as the GM. This has been your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan. Cowboys Nation, I appreciate y'all rocking with the Angry Cowboys Fan Podcast, but I want to know what you guys think. I want to know what you think about the Brian Schottenheimer situation, and if you see physicality coming with these UDFAs and the people that we drafted. But you know how we do it. We always talk about it in the comment section. But if you're digging this content and want to help get me to 10K, get the Angry Cowboys Fan YouTube channel to 10K, drop a like on this video and please consider sharing it with anybody that you know is a Dallas Cowboys fan. If you are DC for life and can't wait for training camp to start so we can get into preseason and going into the regular season, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to be notified whenever I go live, release a video, podcast episode, film breakdown, or Madden 25 or College Football 25 gameplay. Cowboys Nation, like I said, I'm going to be going down to North Carolina to be with my brother, but the content doesn't stop. I'll still be hitting y'all with this raw and uncut from North Carolina. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan. I'll be leaving on Tuesday, and I'm out. Dang, Angry Cowboys fan, you done made it through the entire video. But if you want more content, you can definitely go to this video right here. Or if you want the latest episode of the Angry Cowboys Fan Podcast, you can go right here. But whatever you do, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, but remain DC for life.